Hi, my name is Laura Raganas, and I would like to welcome you to my iNACOL Conference Sessions Summary. The conference took place in Palm Springs, California on November 4th through the 7th, 2014. On November 4th, I left the Bluegrass State from the Standiford Airport in Louisville, Kentucky. There was a layover in Denver, Colorado, and I continued my flight into the warm city of Palm Springs, California late that night. From the airport, I took a taxi that transported me to the lovely Riviera Resort and Spa, which would become my resting place for the next 3 nights. As the sun was rising on the morning of the 5th, I arrived at the Palm Springs Convention Center. That was the first opportunity I had to see the beauty of the surroundings. The landscape was composed of palm trees and desert grasses with a mountain background. Upon registration, I began to create my agenda of which sessions I wanted to attend. The process was difficult since there appeared to be so many interesting topics. The opening keynote was delivered by Susan Patrick and Vicki Phillips. The presentation was focused on the question, doesn't our system of seat time mean we are measuring the wrong end of the kid? This topic set the stage for validation of what our digital team is stressing as we work with the districts in Kentucky, that we need to get past the number of hours students are in their seats. Various models and styles of blended learning have been proposed and practiced in recent years. For true blended learning, the design process of the technology must be driven by instructional needs. It is not about blending the classroom with technology. It is about blending the classroom with learning by leveraging the technology. A real treat was hearing Sal Khan, the creator and founder of Khan Academy. It is a nonprofit with a goal of changing education for the better. All of the site's resources are available to anyone, and Khan Academy's materials and resources are available completely free, 24/7. Students can make use of the extensive library of interactive challenges, assessments, and videos from any device with access to the web. Their library of content covers math, biology, chemistry, and physics, and even humanities, with playlists on finance and history. The Kettle Moraine School District has laid the foundation for personalized learning at the elementary level. They have built a 21st century classroom focused on self-directed, highly engaged learning and a one-to-one technology application for young learners. Their team has embraced the concept of moving the curriculum from being teacher-centered to learner-driven. K-12 online learning demands an understanding of its availability to struggling students. This presentation featured the examination of content management systems through the lens of UDL. The actual measurement tool that can be used was introduced. You can use the QR code to access more information. The definition of blended learning is a formal education program in which a student learns at least in part through online learning with some element of student control over time, place, path, and pace. Successful blended learning involves these 6 elements. Thursday began with an opening keynote by Jean Wilhoit. The National Center for Innovation in Education focuses on ensuring more states are adopting and implementing a standard definition of college career readiness that embodies deeper learning outcomes, implementing meaningful measures of outcomes, and holding all levels of the system accountable for results. Deeper learning delivers the skills and knowledge students will need to succeed in a world that is changing at a rapid pace. Deeper learning prepares students to master core academic content, to think critically and solve complex problems, to work collaboratively, to communicate effectively, and to learn how to learn. iRead from Scholastics is a new digital reading program designed to close the achievement gap before it even begins. It places all K through 2 students on a predictable reading path and follows the 5 foundational principles listed here. E-badges are one of my favorite new concepts. They validate skills individuals bring to education for both teachers and students. They validate progressive levels of participation. They reward their achievements, and they recognize service learning, life and career skills, mentoring, and lifelong learning. This session's title led me to believe that it would focus on remedial designing, but I found that what they were saying applies to lessons for all students all the time. Close reading is a process of revisiting the text multiple times while asking, answering, and writing in response to a scaffolded series of text-based questions. The Common Core English Language Arts standards call for the integration of reading and writing and require students to analyze complex literary and informational texts, as well as compose written arguments and responses using evidence from sources. I saved this session summary to last because it was undoubtedly my favorite. Everything we do each day should have the end in mind, which is providing the best education for students. This panel of students spoke openly about their likes and dislikes in education and their experiences. They provided the audience with an understanding of blended learning through the eyes of students. They spoke about their feelings of what education should look like in the future, and they all agreed it should provide a blend in order to meet the needs of all learners. I returned the next morning to the Palm Springs airport to begin my journey back to Kentucky. There was a very quick change of planes in Houston, Texas, and I arrived back in Louisville late the night of November the 7th. Thank you for attending my summary of sessions from the 2014 iNACOL conference in Palm Springs, California.